guys, so this is my first video on this channel, and I'm basically just going to document my weight loss journey, and both for accountability and for just helping others who want to know about this. So right now I am on Zepbound, and I'm just on the 2.5. I just took my 4th shot yesterday. And I just wanted to start really to kind of document in my past weight loss, whatever you want to call them, weight loss attempts. I documented sometimes, like with pictures, but I never followed through ever. And I want to follow through this time and document. I took my measurements. Actually, I think I took my measurements on the 1st or 2nd week because I wasn't feeling like it. And yeah, I just want to just kind of follow along with everyone else and see what kind of community that I can build. I am 38, or I will be 38 this year. I keep forgetting how old I am. And I have always struggled with my weight since I was probably like 4 or 5. I've struggled with my weight, and like everyone else, have tried everything. I remember as a child just being hungry all the time and just eating certain things, the typical, 80s and 90s breakfast of sugary cereal and all that stuff, Pop-Tarts, Kool-Aid, and mac and cheese for lunch. And yet I was always hungry. Like, my mom would always talk about how I would eat whatever that thing was, and then I would go over to my grandma's house and have her cook me bacon and eggs and stuff like that. And I just always remember being hungry, and I was always overweight. And that continued until I was like 16, and I went on the Atkins diet, and I lost 60 pounds in like 3 months. I was very active then. I was working, and I was walking, jogging, riding my bike, all of that stuff, super active. So yes, I lost 60 pounds in 3 months, which is insane when I think about it. And then I was doing Atkins that whole time. I wasn't counting calories or anything. I switched from regular soda to diet soda. And then soon after that, I just remember slowly taking a bite of like pizza or having a breaded chicken nugget or chicken tender. And that quickly spiraled into just straight up carb addiction again. Sorry about that. I had to pause the camera because my daughter came in. So yes, Atkins diet for 3 months, and then I just started on carbs again and just got sucked right back in. Also around that time, I was a teenager, so I started drinking and just losing my way, I guess I could say. And then from that point all the way until I was almost 30, I had zero, I think I would go on different diets and I would lose maybe like 5 pounds. I never even made it to 10 pounds. It was just terrible. And in 2018, I had just had my 2nd child, and I had gained so much weight. I think I gained 60 pounds or something. I think I gained like 60 pounds with my first pregnancy, and then my second one, same thing. It was very near that. It was terrible. So after I had my 2nd child, I got up to 294 pounds, and I was looking into just super depressed and super just hopeless feeling. And I looked into weight loss surgery, and I decided to go ahead with it in 2018. And I actually went to Mexico for that, and I got a sleeve gastrectomy and had a great experience and everything. Like, the surgery was amazing and everything went perfect. And on that pre-op diet they give you, I did not lose any weight. I definitely cheated like all the way up to it. I just had no ability to stop. Ever since the first time I did Atkins, I pretty much never was able to do the low carb again. I just couldn't get past more than a couple days. And so after I decided I was getting the surgery, you had to do this like pre-op thing. But during that time, I did cut out coffee completely because I knew that it was going to be really difficult for me to cut out caffeine if I waited. So I went through all the withdrawals of that, which I'm so thankful for that I did. Had the surgery, everything went great. Losing weight like crazy. My depression was better. I went down like 5 sizes just in like a couple months. I went from like a 24, 26 down to a size 18, like super fast. And I was eating a lower carb thing. I definitely was going higher fat, which they just recommended low carb, no sugar, lower fat, because obviously you want to burn your fat. But I definitely went more the keto route and did really good. And eventually reintroduced caffeine, reintroduced diet soda like a few years later, and that just continued to not do well. And then when I had my third child, I did great all throughout that pregnancy, stayed low carb, went on to lose, I think when I got pregnant with her, I was 225, and I was working out every day at that time and attempting to get back in to just, losing weight, better health. And so I went and weighed right like a week before I got pregnant with her, and I was like 225-ish. And then when I had her, like once all the swelling went down, I was all the way down to 183. Sorry, another child trying to interrupt me. And anyways, so I actually lost so much weight with her because of my surgery, because I had restriction. And then when I had my big pregnant belly, it was even more restriction that I was feeling. So that did fine for me. And I still stayed low carb all throughout that pregnancy. And that was my easiest pregnancy. It was my smallest baby. My first 2 pregnancies, I had gestational diabetes. This one I did not. It was awesome. But after I had her, it was like my hunger just came back with a vengeance. Like, it was non-stop thoughts about food and when I was going to eat again. I would think about food when I was still eating, like currently eating a meal. And so I went and honestly considered, probably after a year or 2 is when I started considering a revision to my surgery, because I had stretched out my stomach because of the soda and just eating. When you first have the surgery, you can't really eat and drink at the same time. And I had gotten up to that point after 3 years, from 2018 to 2020 and up 21. I had just stretched out my stomach, and still not to the point that I could eat as much as I could before I had surgery, but still I could eat a full plate of food and have no restriction as far as and drink and eat at the same time. So let's see. Children. And I'm back again. I don't remember where I was when my children come in. My mind's gone. My mind's gone anyway. And I've tried intermittent fasting. That actually did work. It's just every time I try something, I just cannot stick with it for more than 5 days. And I go through the withdrawals barely. Also, I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm a homeschooling mom. I'm here with my little kids. They're all very close in age. I have a 4, 6, and 8-year-old. And so I'm cooking their food. I'm not expecting, or could I even handle trying to get them to eat how I eat now, back to low carb and things like that. Yes, what do you need?
I'm hiding from you.
Oh, she's hiding. Okay, go hide in Mama's room. It's a good spot.
But don't tell them.
I won't tell them. better hurry. I hear him coming. And so I don't remember what I was talking about now. So I just cook them bread. I'm trying to do things healthier though. I'm cooking sourdough bread, and I'm ditching a lot of the sugar and stuff like that, which I kind of already did just because I have this fear in me. I don't want them to be like me. I don't want them to grow up like self-conscious and big and in pain. I mean, I remember being in pain when I was a kid because I was so big and I couldn't run how everyone else did. And I ran out of breath like ridiculous. I had terrible asthma too on top of it. And so I don't really do a ton of like, candy and cake and whatever, but it does exist in our home. And so over this past 2 years, I haven't been able to get more than a couple of days. And even then I still would like taste something or bite something during my day of cooking, 3 meals a day for them. So I'm working on that now and just getting less because I don't want to be around it. But all this to say, now I have started Zepbound, and I just randomly heard about weight loss shots from a friend. Back again. Zepbound. It's probably going to be backwards, isn't it? I'm on the 2.5 milligram right now. My friend told me that she was just like thinking about the shots, and I'm like, what is I never heard of it. And so she told me about that, and I was just like, oh, that doesn't sound good, and I had my experience with my weight loss surgery that I messed up. It was, I treated it like it was a magic thing, and because it felt magic, but it's not a magic thing. It is a tool, and you still have to remain not eating junk and exercising and doing all the things you need to do. And I am still thankful for my surgery hugely. Like I know that I can't just eat. It doesn't matter. I can't just eat what everyone else eats. Like I can't have sugar and I can't have pasta. I have no ability to stop those. Once I take that bite, I have no moderation in that. Like I cannot moderate it. I never have been able to in my whole life. I cannot have a sugary bowl of cereal or a bowl of pasta or a big hunk of warm, fresh bread out of the oven because I will overeat it. I will binge eat it, and I just can't have it. So I looked up the shots, and this is all in a month period. Because I just felt desperate again. I meant to say, so after my weight loss surgery, I don't have the numbers on how much I lost during that time before I had my third child. But after I got home from the hospital with my third child, after all the things, I got all the way down to 183. And that was amazing. And I was really hard on myself though. Like I did not like my body. Everything was just floofy and deflated and everything. And then so from 2019 until now, 2024, I had gotten back up to 258. So I got all the way down to 183 and said I will never be above 200 again. Well, here I am. So 258, and then I just kind of was able to go lower to 252 to 254. And then, guys, can you go outside, please? And then I weighed in before I started the shot. I went and talked to my doctor, and I chose Zepbound because it sounded like the odds were much better with it. So I chose Zepbound, and I went and talked to my doctor, and we are on the 2.5 milligrams. I just took my 4th shot yesterday. And guys, go outside, please. Go play. And I have lost, so I started at 251.8. Sorry, my mind is so scattered because these kids keep coming in and out. 251.8 is what I started at. And I actually started trying to do low carb like 3 days before I started the shots because that's what I want to use them for. I want to use these shots the same way I use my surgery, but this time I know I can't have alcohol. I can't have sugar. I can't have pasta. I can't have bread. That is just my reality. I am almost 40 years old. I have never been able to moderate eating those things. I binge on those things. The second I taste them, it doesn't matter how much time I had, just like when I had the weight loss of 6 months and I was feeling awesome, or even after having my baby and I got all the way down to 183. I don't even remember. I think the last time I was 183, I was like in middle school, like almost in high school. Ooh. And so I was watching a Dr. Cywes, I think that's how you say it, Dr. Cywes, Cywes, and he was talking about these shots and some of the other weight loss medications, some of the stuff he actually prescribes, and he was saying about carb addiction. Like, you are always going to have this problem, just like an alcoholic. I cannot abstain, or I cannot moderate those things. Like, and if I am an alcoholic, which I also am an alcoholic, and that was the thing that happened after my surgery, is then I turned back to alcohol like I had when I was a teenager, and that was not good. I didn't think I was going to be able to stop, and luckily I did. I have like 17 months now of no alcohol, maybe 18 now. And that feels good, and it was hard, and it still is hard, especially now that I'm back on the low carb train and the eating healthy. It is hard. I've caught myself thinking about alcohol several times, because how nice it would be to just have some vodka and some diet soda or something. I also quit soda again. So I have not quit coffee, and I don't think I'm going to yet, but I did switch to decaf in the afternoon. I got some stuff. So sorry if this is all jumbled. I'm trying to think of everything to say since this is my first video, but I'm on Zepbound now. Just took my 4th shot, and I've been losing a little bit over I think it's like 2.3 pounds a week. And the first week was terrible, and I was going through the carb withdrawals, and I also my coffee, like I always get the Coffee Mate creamer, but it's so bad for you. It's just like corn syrup. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up. You got my starting weight. I will probably insert some original before pictures when I was 296, and then probably like a pregnancy picture to show like how big I got from my first and second pregnancy, and then might insert a pic of when I got down to 183, and then I will post more videos, and I'm going to be coming up with some different topics like what I'm eating, side effects. We're also going to talk about compounds, because I'm actually hopefully going to be switching to a compound soon to save money, because I am completely self-pay and I only have so much money set aside. I can't be on this drug forever. Okay, it kicked me off again. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.